Hello, everybody, and welcome to CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski, along with Kevin, the Mayor Bryant. We are in the Eagles' nest. And Kevin, what's coming up here with some hoops? Pioneer here at Skyline.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick, the Pioneers have been on a heater. I'm going to attribute it to CTN because since we last had them against Skyline before, 8 dubs in a row, and it's really been propelled on the defensive end. They're outscoring their opponents by 18 points a clip, shooting well inside the paint, and on Tuesday night against Saline, Whitridge, their big 6'8" center, was just hanging on the rim. Skyline's got a big task tonight of slowing this train down, or is it a chuck wagon? I'm not sure.
So we'll see if the Eagles can take advantage of that jinx that we've just dropped on them. We'll find out. Tip-off coming up right after this. And here we go, everybody. You see the Pioneers with a hefty 13-3 record, just playing out of their minds in the last month and a half in the SEC Red. Skyline, young team, right? That's what they've got to do. They got to chip away at this really good defense.
Yeah, and looking at what Pioneer was unable to do against the Hornets early in this week, they were outside cold, and not just outside under 32 cold. I mean, they were 1 of 8 until their last spurt in that fourth quarter where they outscored the Hornets 16-6, and that propelled them to their W.
Well, as you mentioned, though, defense travels. And that's the Pioneer defense is what's kept them in games. It's what's kept them on this streak. And if you can keep that other team shooting worse than you, on par or worse than you, eventually you're going to heat up, is the theory.
And you can see that Pioneer, when they get their defense going, when they get on the other side, Nick, we talked about this before the game, they're in all the passing lanes. They're going to create ugly turnovers for easy buckets because they're not a great outside shooting team.
There's Harrison doing his best to work his man down low. Gets his own rebound, and the Pioneers will reset again. Long three-point attempt right there. Atticus Sy, back rim though, and the Skyline Eagles and the Skyline faithful pretty happy that they come away. They'll keep this one at 0-0 for now, 30 seconds in.
Yeah, Whitridge coming over the top, and there's not too many times where he was going to get called for the foul being 6'8" by jumping over someone.
Yeah, that's still a bit of a learning curve for Whitridge. Nice hands right there by Dula-ogon. He's going to try to go right up to the rack with that one man in his face, and that's a score. That's a bucket over Cal Williams. Dula-ogon, great play.
Yeah, just exactly what we're talking about, that ugly style defense creating easy buckets on the turnover. And watch Dula-ogon here. He gets his hands right there because that ball is not being protected well by the Eagles dribbler.
And a really interesting steal, too. He came in hand down, swiping down. Usually you see most defenders
coming up,
exactly. During the replay, we saw Bird catch a foul, and he got the three-point play.
Yeah, Braylon Bird, he was getting out to the foul line in this first game against against Pioneer.
Pioneers back on the attack. Those road purples, an awful lot of purple for the Pioneers. Kai Saito there crosses over, pop and stop right at the line. He wants a foul. You're even touching the elbow, but the referees say no go, and it's going to be Eagle ball.
Man, if we got a replay on that one, it looked like he got hit right on his arm as he was taking that shot up. Looked like an easy call. Let's see if he gets tapped right here. Oh, yeah, right on the elbow.
Right on the elbow of that right shooting hand. So maybe that's going to be a night of let him play. There's Bird from the corner. Rattles out, rebound by Atticus Sy. Pioneers not too fast, not too much of a push-up on offense.
Pioneer will allow you to shoot those shots from outside. They're going to live and die by making you try to get through the teeth of their defense.
And that's a stout defense down there too with Whitridge. We'll get it from there.
Easy for us to say.
Whitridge in the middle.
Yeah, and he's not a shot blocker. He's a shot changer. He will change the trajectory of the shot as anybody comes into the paint. And this is what he's really been doing of lately, going to the rack.
Nice effort by Whitridge. Couldn't get that one to fall, and the Eagles will take this one up court, trying to extend their lead, looking for Bird. Bird seems to be the hot hand right now, the hot look.
Look at Dula-ogon. He is just straight up in his grill of Bird.
Nice job on the fake. Gets under, drew contact, and still nailed that one. And hopefully you guys can, everybody at home or on the internet can hear, this is a late arriving Skyline Eagle crowd. They're loud in here. Oh, glass from way outside.
Yeah, Sato, he did.
Pioneers.
Did he call glass? You have to call glass.
Sure. Eagles back on the attack, trying to get into that center, as you were mentioning, trying to move things around and maybe open something up on the outside, because these Pioneers, they are starting to get out and not let that perimeter just happen. Nice up and steal off the rim. Kai Saito there. Up to Bird now. Bird draws contact one more time from Whitridge.
That might be his second foul, and that was a good job by Bird, pushing the ball directly into a shot blocker's chest so he can't get up and get any type of airtime to get a block.
And for if I'm Whitridge there, he's so tall, he doesn't need to go up on that. It's not like Bird had these massive ups to just get up over him. Stand your ground, hold your arms up, and you'll get to play longer. Oh, there's an extreme close-up of the Eagle right there.
What was that?
That is extra close. Mitch Mazer down there bringing you the best shots in town, apparently. Actually, I think he just wants the dude out of his way. He's like, hey, man, can you move, please? But the Eagle taking his time. Getting his time to shine.
That's a turnover.
Another
there, not
long
getting that rebound.
three, in and out. Cal Williams trying to make something happen. Another long pass up for Pioneer, and that's going to be a bucket for Atticus Sy.
A good job there by Harrison, keeping his head up and throwing the ball over the defense. Good look.
Nice job going into the paint and then dishing that Cal Williams. Good eye, good look, finding his man, drawing those defenders in on him down inside the paint. Pioneer, nice job there by Jordan Harrison to slow things up a bit before the initial finish. Bo buys.
Is this a little bit of a travel? 1, 2, 3, and I don't know.
That right foot drag, too. I don't know. In the NBA, it's definitely not getting called, although I guess on Maple Road, it's not getting called tonight either. Williams. Skyline tying this one up 9-9 in a back and forth game so far. Not what we expected to see, and probably not where Pioneer wants to be right now either. Long three-point attempt, number 11, Kai Saito. You've seen him. Offensive rebound by Buys.
And again, I said, they're not a great outside shooting team, and that's on display right now. Those shots outside, these guys know that they're on camera down there. Mitch is getting everybody to take a look at them.
The Eagle probably gave him the cue. Hey, guys, get to it.
But that's a great crowd. On a Friday night, that's what you'd love to see here in Ann Arbor on both sides.
Yeah, the Pioneer faithful have also made their way in. And that's a long three-pointer. Finally hits one there, Bryce Wall. 3-point lead for the home Eagles. And you're right, both of these student sections are on fire right now. Dictating action, dictating pace right now. Another rebound
Well, and right now, my jinx is holding up to play because we're talking about how Pioneer had that 20-point win, and the Eagles are not having anything of it. They're coming out here and looking red hot.
Owen Peterson couldn't knock down that three, and the Pioneers going to move into their offense and try to get within a little bit closer. Still down 3, 12-9 currently with 2:22 to go here in this non-stop first quarter. There's Harrison with a spin move right off the block, excuse me. Can't get that one to fall. Peterson now trying to dodge his man way outside the three-point line. This Pioneer defense has truly extended, trying to not give up any threes, but then that is exactly what's going to happen. Easy
right now,
bucket, Jacob Redder.
That foul trouble is really coming into play because you don't have anybody that's a rim protector as far as Whitbridge being on the bench.
But that's an amazing pick and roll right there, finished off by Bo Buys. Expertly put together by Pioneer, still only down 3.
That's a tough pass. Not a lot of room in there.
No, that's threading the needle. It's extra low if you try to pass that into a big guy. You've got to be really sure of that pass. You've got to be really sure of your big guy that he's able to get down there and get his hands on it.
I like the thought process, though. Let's pound the ball inside, and if we can't even get the shot up, maybe we're going to create another foul because we're only 1 away from being in the bonus. And as we know, no more 1-and-1s. We're shooting 2 shots on every one. So look at there. There's a good reach in by Dula-ogon. Oh, no, that was Cy on the backside.
Pioneers with 1:18 to go, down 3, trying to cycle up top. As Dula-ogon draws contact, gets a foul. And I don't know if they're going to say that he was on the shot or not.
We've seen Dula-ogon just grow up this season. You know, earlier in the year, he was a little bit tentative. He was deferring to Harrison. Now when he's getting the ball, this is what he's doing. Driving straight line to the bucket.
First and 2 for Dula-ogon, hits the first one. Gets Pie High within 2 here, 1:13 to go here in this first quarter. From dare I say, raucous Skyline gym.
Well, I mean, I think the Eagles are feeding a little bit off of this crowd as well, too. Wow, lane
they're going to call
violation.
the shooter on that one. That's a real rare one.
You usually don't see that unless they're falling over the line, and Dula-ogon didn't look like he was falling over the line.
Yeah, that left foot just scooched forward. It slid forward. I don't know if maybe the court was a little slick or that was just his momentum on his lower half. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And like you say, this defense travels. Let's see if they can just get a stop here in this last minute of the first quarter.
Well, they are playing a really tight, seemingly box and one.
Oh, good
There's
Lord.
outside to Bird. Rebounded Harrison, and he's going to take it up. He's got eyes that he's cutting right after him. Can't get that one to fall, and with 34 seconds left to play, the Eagles will try to push this up and score before the end of the quarter. And Bird, off of seemingly the foul, leans forward and rolls that one in. Unconventional, too, for Bird. He's been the story of this first quarter.
Yeah, 6 points to lead the Eagles, and he has not seen anyone that fears him going inside, especially with Whitbridge not being down low.
There's Ellington now, sends that one in, but Bird ready for that, gets the ball, 3 seconds to go. They're going to try to make one last pass before an attempt. No go on that one, but the Eagles will be super stoked for where they're at the end of this first quarter. I'm super stoked where I'm at the end of this first quarter. Stick around for more Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lenise from the City of Ann Arbor Clerk's Office. We want to show you how easy it is to get involved with your community by serving on a board or commission. The City of Ann Arbor appoints over 200 people to over 50 boards and commissions. From sustainability to transportation, we have boards and commissions for a wide range of policy interests. Most of them meet once a month virtually. You can start by visiting a2gov.legistar.com and clicking the Boards and Commissions tab. There you can read a short description about each board or commission. When you find one that interests you, click the Apply Now button in the top right-hand corner. You'll complete a short form including your contact information, background, and why you're interested in serving. Even if there's not a vacancy at the time, we'll keep your application for up to 2 years. Next, your application goes to City Council, where they may reach out to you to learn more or schedule an interview. Once the council makes their appointments, you'll be contacted on next steps and prepped for your first meeting. Serving is a great way to help shape our city's future. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our office or visit the website for more information.
And welcome back, everybody, to Skyline High School. The home Eagles have got a somewhat surprising lead over the visiting Pie High. Kevin, how did they get to this spot?
Yeah, a lot of aggressive play led by Braylon Bird with 6 points. He started off getting to the foul line and then finishing off with some great drives as well as some timely defense to create easy buckets on the other end.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Bird's done a little bit of everything. As you mentioned, he was shooting from long, he was going in low, drawing contact, drawing fouls, pulling some of those Pioneer players out and getting them in foul trouble. And yeah, exactly what they want. Is that Sek?
It's good footwork by Sek and inside the paint. Again, without anyone to deter those shots for the Eagles.
Baseline Dula-ogon. 18-14 now for the Eagles.
I don't know how many times we've done a Pioneer game, sorry about this, but where Jordan Harrison hasn't scored in a period.
Yeah, he didn't have any points in that first quarter. That's got to be a first in the last year and a half. Has to be. Front rim on the attempt, but offensive rebound, shining glass is Lee Sek. Sek consecutive buckets. He's got ups, too.
Yeah, and he's got ups. He's the longest player out there for the Eagles, but Dula-ogon is not afraid.
No, he's feeling it, and even if he wasn't, he has no problem sending those up, and he's keeping his team in this. And that's one of the beautiful points of this Pioneer team. They're not just requiring Jordan Harrison to score for them, or even Ellington. They've got enough guys around that do different things that can keep them in this.
Yeah, Coach Marion has a group of players out here, and no one's actually like in the 99, but nobody's under 75. They kind of play all together at the same pace, at the same kind of rating.
And it is typically that defense that will keep them in it. We'll see if they add any extra pressure here and try to turn up the heat on this youngish Eagles team.
Wow, I thought that might be a call. And then Brian, the ref on near side, comes in and he just took over that call and said that was a jump ball. Look at this. Is this any contact coming in here? It looked like a little bit of hand on the wrist. Is the hand part of the ball? I know a lot of people don't like that, but man, that was a tough one.
Dula-ogon is stoked to get that call. He is completely stoked to get that call. I don't even think he knew he was getting it. He might not have thought the foul was going to be on him, but I don't think he knew that he was getting that jump ball. The referees continue to let things play, let the pace of the game happen, and everybody is thankful for it. And there's Dula-ogon on the offensive boards, long three attempt by Ellington. And the Pioneers' three-point shooting is not so much currently. I don't think they're going to fall away from it, but it's definitely not the thing keeping them in it right now.
No, and they're all about trying to have easy buckets. And easy buckets is what Bird has been doing all game long.
All buckets are easy for that young man right now. Bird listed at 6'1", junior.
And he's a thick 6'1" down there, too. People are bouncing off of him. That's how he got that other foul on Whitridge. But when you can go deep behind the three-point line and knock it down, that shows a lot of versatility.
And not a lot of height to that jump on the three-pointer, and almost a little heel click, too. I don't know if you saw there. Unique shooting style from Bird, but it works for him. Long three for Dula-ogon, did not work for him, and then another board there by Redder. Eagles going to try to work this one outside. Great job cutting in and finding Bird open in the corner one more time. Hard-fought ball underneath, and Pioneer will try to move some numbers up by the bucket.
Oh.
Harrison, another miss right underneath the glass. Not an easy layup by any means, but still close to the rim. You got to get one of these to fall.
Great head and shoulders fake. I was wondering if anybody's going to do that. It's kind of a lost art on the offensive end.
I think they're going to call around the back on that one.
And that's going to be the second on Braylon Bird, and that's going to earn him a little bit of time on the pine. You can see him just coming over on the backside there. That's an easy call.
Yeah, and maybe he needs a little bit of a rest because that is a lazy-ish foul.
A little bit tired.
Yeah, you're just trying to come around, try to bear hug him a little bit like that. Yeah, so he might have been a little tired. So maybe a minute and a half down on the pine is exactly what the doctor ordered for him, and then you become that spark plug here in a couple minutes when you come back in.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Sek pulled down the rebound there.
Coach Marion's, it's like a pot of water just getting boiling, and you can see him percolating over there. He's coming further and further on the court, and it's going to be soon before those hands are going to be out of the pocket.
Yeah, that slow boil, that slow burn that's going. You're right. He's keeping his calm right now. He's not a jump up and down and yell kind of guy often, but it does happen, and you might see something like that with his team down 6 right now in a game. Again, you can never tell. Let's check out a replay here on that last play.
Well, and again, a little bit of push there, not called. But hey, if you can force them out of bounds, that's what you do. And again, that's that Pioneer defense. Never give up on a play.
That's right. They affected what Sek was trying to do down low, and he just tried to avoid the contact and dropped his foot right on the border there.
This is where Harrison needs to take over a little.
Harrison sends that one outside. Brandon Richardson couldn't get that one to fall either. Dula-ogon now to Ellington.
And Harrison's got a scorer's mentality. Coach Marion was saying he wants him to play more of a conventional point role, but you can see right now they're going to need him to step into his bag.
Well, it's good to see Ellington back out there as well. This is a really dynamic backcourt that feeds off each other. They do a lot of the same stuff, but they do everything really well. Dula-ogon in there gets the foul probably on the floor.
Boy, it doesn't take much room for him to sniff out the rim, and he accelerates to the rim well. Watch this. Good head and shoulders fake, and he just gets through that crack, and that's a foul that was earned by the Eagles.
They'll call that one on the floor, and we'll see what type of play Coach Marion has drawn up in the back pocket here. Harrison looking.
I was going to say, this is one of the games that Coach Marion likes to have. After winning 8 in a row against a team like this, a crosstown rival, you don't want it to be easy. You want it to be kind of a tough game.
Harrison hits his first bucket. Long 3 gets the Pioneers to within 3 with 2:33 to go here in this first half.
He's the leader. He's the guy that can get it going really fast and quick in a hurry for the Pioneers.
Corner 3, no go there for Ray McBride. And the Pi High faithful are going to let him hear about it. There's a pretty significant blackout, and there's another bucket and one from Ellington. And Pioneer inching back into this one,
Well, first, like you said, that dynamic backcourt. First it's Harrison, and then it was Ellington. And Ellington, he gave out a couple blows there like he was playing some football out there to the defender. Gets rewarded, and I do not know how that ball went in the bucket.
Great spin, great hands by Ellington. This, as we said, this backcourt can do a lot for you, and they can definitely get you back into a game when needed. And Ellington ties this one up, and the Eagles, let's see what the kind of metal they've got in them. They've just received a couple of body blows, a couple of counter punches. What can they do to get back on top here?
Look at this defense. Look at that.
Harrison just all over Bryce Wall.
Wall is only a freshman, too.
Into the corner again, another miss by Ray McBride.
Consecutive air balls, right?
I didn't want to say it, but yeah. That's why you're doing the color commentary. I didn't want to have to analyze that, but that's exactly what's going on there.
Well, that student section made me say it. I mean, they're into it with their blackout against the whiteout over here on the Skyline side. You know, and if you really want to get going as far as looking at all the schools that are represented, take a look behind the Skyline bench. And you can see somebody in a, is that a forest green and gold hoodie down there doing a little bit of scouting? Let's pan down that, now it's not on that end. But go back to the right a little bit and let's look over the shoulder. There is a Huron guy who Pioneer is going to be facing next week.
Very nondescript on there. Yeah, that's a great eye by you right there. And there's Mitch Mazer one more time. Johnny on the spot, finding that Huron scout.
Braylon Bird getting a little bit too antsy on that play, and Coach Marion actually helped out the referee with the call there. And look at this, 1-2, curly shuffle.
Yeah, Bird lowered his head and put that shoulder into him. Pioneer now, all of a sudden, 2-point lead. Ellington looking for a roll-off play there. Pioneers continue to attack down into the paint. And there Buys right there. Great play in. Bo Buys, he's found himself a nice little niche on the block there.
Yeah, well, when you only get, time when the big starter goes out, you better make good time of it, use of that time, I should say. And Bo Buys with his 6th bucket of the evening.
Three-pointer off the front rim, and that one's going to bounce into the Pie High bench. Yeah, Buys has done everything textbook. Textbook pick and roll, receives the ball well, even holding his arm up after the pick. Just letting those guards know, hey, I'm open, give it to me.
And this is all started with that Harrison three-pointer. Tie things up, and then you have Ellington come in, get another three-pointer the conventional way. But it started with the senior Harrison.
Dula-ogon from the top. That one rattles out. Skyline wants to press the issue there. Bird gets around his man on the baseline. Can't finish that one, and now the Pioneers with only 17 seconds left going to push this one up and try to extend their 4-point lead right now. Bird is still on the deck underneath the hoop on the other end. He seemed to be holding his ankle. Whatever the problem is, he appears to be in a lot of pain. He does not look like he's having a good time down there underneath the bucket.
Yeah, and it looked like he was grabbing at the back of his left of his calf,
and you've got
hamstring.
Your Huron dude over there too.
Yeah, it looks like maybe that's
there.
Yeah, Huron has so many trainers that they're leasing out their trainers and maybe doing a little scouting too.
Maybe, hey, what's this look like? What's this look like? How's that defense holding up?
Coach Hamilton's out there because he can ill afford to lose this young man because he's been the guy that's not just been putting the ball in the bucket, but as well as he's just been the player.
Well, this entire second quarter has been about Pioneers' defense trying to disrupt Bird and everything that he did in that first quarter.
Yeah, they've only held them to, the Pioneer defense has only allowed 7 points here in the second. And let's see if we can see as he goes up. Man, he just looks like he collapses.
There it was.
Where the player fell on his leg.
He fell on his ankle, yeah.
Good to see him walk this off.
Yep, you'll see Buys come down. Like, it may have been twisted there, but Buys comes down right on it. Great job in the truck of bringing up those gruesome instant replays. Gruesome might be a little excessive.
Yeah, I mean,
he's walking. He's okay.
Yeah, as a kid, that's what we say as a parent, right? He's walking, rub some dirt on it. But this Pioneer has been doing this all without Whitridge into the game, so he's going to be able to come back and play the whole second half with 2 fouls.
In theory. But if the Eagles see him in there and go attack again, maybe they can get themselves back at the line, because that's also something that we've not seen is any Eagles at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Good defense without fouling.
13 seconds to go here in this first half. The Eagles will hold or try to make something to get the last shot, but they're going to call reach on Harrison.
Yeah, I think he just caught, was trying to be a little bit too aggressive there, putting his hand inside over on Williams. Good move by Williams. Love the back door.
Nice job getting open and then finding his man, get back at him, getting a three, but now Harrison has a last opportunity. Drew a little contact, wanted the foul on that three-pointer, but it's very rare you're going to get that one at the end of the half.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that first half. I mean, because you can see that it's all been Pioneer defense to chuck at that lead that they were giving up in that first quarter. And the Eagles got to feel a little bit down because they had the Pioneers on their heels all the way until about the last 3 minutes of that second quarter.
A tale of two quarters so far in this first half. Stick around past halftime. We'll see which team shows up on this week's edition of Game of the Week.
Welcome to Ward Talk with our host, Bonnie Gabowitz. Each episode, we interview city leaders on the challenges, successes, and future of Ann Arbor. The mayor and 10 city council members share their insights on where we've been and where we're going. In that time, many changes happen, so tune in to War Talk every month to stay in the know. You can submit questions for our guests to ctn@a2gov.org, and we'll include your questions in the next episode.
Tech ball is a sport that is played on a curved table. You can use any part of the body but your hands.
It's kind of like a ping pong table, but it's a little bit curved to allow for like more rallies with a bigger ball. It's basically ping pong and soccer mixed together.
You can play it as a singles or doubles. The idea is to hit the other side of the table, and each side has an opportunity to touch the ball 3 times. Failing to retrieve the ball within those 3 touches, other side gets a point.
To be able to play something like that, like so casually and effortlessly without needing like a big field or anything was great. And also the added like complexity of having to abide by ping pong rules was really fun.
Back in 2023, there was some communications between Tech Ball USA and Parks and Recreation staff. The idea was not only to bring something new to the community, but also an opportunity for Tech Ball USA to grow the sport. So they decided to donate 2 tables for us. One is at Olson Park, the other one is here at Fuller Park. We chose these locations because this is where we have our premier soccer fields.
This is like perfect because it's super low commitment. You can just walk up to the park with a ball and just play with each other. And I know some friend groups like mine are like super competitive, and this is like something perfect for that.
Welcome to Burns Park, another of Ann Arbor's most beloved neighborhood parks, just south of downtown and full of opportunities for play, relaxation, and community connection. This 15-acre green space is surrounded by mature trees and follows the curve of an old horse racetrack, offering something for everyone in every season. Enjoy 3 tennis courts and 2 dedicated pickleball courts, all set alongside a beautifully maintained rain garden. Rain gardens help manage stormwater and bring native plants and pollinators to the park. Burns Park is a hub for Ann Arbor rec and ed sports, with open fields for soccer and football, baseball diamonds, and a basketball court ready for pickup games. Try your hand at petanque, cool off at the drinking fountains, or relax under the trees at one of many different picnic tables. At the southeast corner, you'll find the Ann Arbor Senior Center, offering programs and events for older adults. In winter, residents can stop by for a free sand and salt mix, helping keep local sidewalks safe. Accessible by foot, bike, or car, the park includes multiple parking areas, including spaces for people with disabilities. Whether you're here to play, stroll, or simply enjoy the outdoors, Burns Park is where Ann Arbor gathers. Come and visit. There's always something happening at Burns Park.
Are you looking to take your videos from boring to extraordinary? Well, with a little help from editing, you can get there. We'll teach you how to edit footage from our CTN laptops with professional programs like Final Cut Pro. Or we could give you some pointers on basic cell phone editing. If this looks like something you'd be interested in, contact CTN.
Hi, I'm Mitch with CTN. Did you know CTN is available on both Android and iOS platforms for free?
That's right. You can find us on the Cablecast app. Just look up CTN and all your favorite local programs are right at your fingertips. But that's not all. CTN is also on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. If this is for you, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Then navigate to the About tab for instructions on how to set it up on your device. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can watch our live meetings and all of our CTN-produced programs at youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor. So come watch CTN, where we aim to connect, create, and communicate.
And here we go, second half action coming up. Pioneer up 5 points. Hard to say that was going to be a thing coming into the second quarter, but how did we get here, Kevin?
A lot of defense right there in that second quarter by the Pioneers, just slowing things down for the Eagles. And the Eagles, they seem to have some kryptonite and stopped going into the paint, because when they got inside in the paint, they were either hitting buckets, kicking out for an open 3, or causing a foul. They need to get back to that style for Coach Hamilton to ride this wave they started the game out with.
Errant pass shot up the middle, and that's going to be a back and forth penalty on the Eagles. Not the way you want to start the second half, but I will say, though, a 30-second possession.
A 30-second possession, but it's deflating when you have a turnover like that. You'd love to see it going to the basket. That one was a player that, was out of position, kind of.
And deflating is what we were hearing a little bit from the Eagle faithful on your side of us here, but they're getting right back into it, trying to talk their guys into playing some tough defense, and we'll see what they can do here. 7:15 to go.
And I can take a look at Coach Marion's hands is out of the pockets. He's going to get his group going early here, and you can see the Pioneers is coming out with a little bit of extra pep in their step.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Marion gave him a bit of an earful. We're lucky to be where we're at right now, the way that first quarter and a half went. And there's a bucket there. Dula-ogon, he has been on fire tonight. when players like Harrison and Ellington haven't been there, Dula-ogon has been the guy. Even when he wasn't making the buckets, he kept hammering away to keep his team in this.
Aggressive player, and he's being rewarded with it, and he's leading scorer right now for the Pioneers with 11 points.
Outside pass to Sek. Sek, nice job finding an initial passer down along the baseline. Skyline doing everything in their possession to try to cycle the ball around and find an open man, but that Pioneer defense is exactly where it needs to be one more time.
Yeah, and again, no blocks on that, but just making shots difficult by putting hands up on the defensive side.
Henry Bailey from outside. And a tough effort down low by Jordan Harrison. Can't come up with it, but love to see that level of scrapping against 2 or 3 other dudes on the floor. That one popped away. Dula-ogon one more time. Dula-ogon all by himself, lays it in smooth as silk.
Dula-ogon there is showing you that it doesn't have to be one of the stars for Coach Marion that steps up. Anyone out there can.
Is this the first timeout?
Has to be, right?
I don't remember a single timeout called in that first half, which just goes one more reason why that first half went so fast, but that'll be a timeout by Skyline.
And it's the biggest lead of the game, and it's off of plays like this. This timeout is because the Eagles have had 3-4 possessions where they've had a poor shot and 2 poor turnovers, really, that have led to the Pioneers to get their biggest lead of the night.
Right, you are. 9-point lead for the Pioneers, and Skyline really just feels like they're struggling. They need to get a little bit of that momentum back, whether it's a steal and an easy bucket or hitting one of those 3-pointers, but they really need to get back into things, just like we're getting back into things after a missed game last week into the winter coverage. We've had just boys basketball as far as the eye can see, but we're going to shift gears into girls hoops starting next week.
Looking forward to that, too. The Skyline girls have been playing well as that Huron girls team. They've been at the top of the heap right now, and looking forward to that last game of the season.
Yeah, going to get you a little bit of everything here on CTN's Game of the Week. You're going to see a little wipe down near side. Back to on-court action, though. Skyline, as mentioned, they need to get back on track. Excuse me. Bird might be the guy that gets him there.
Well, it's getting close to a 5-second call. I couldn't believe that he got out of that one, but this is the side of the court that the Pioneers love to play on. And again, good backdoor cut for that bucket.
Slick leaning bucket there by Cal Williams, and there was a nice pass down low inside. Henry Bailey cutting, perfectly cut, perfect pass, and another bucket for the Pioneers.
I'm glad to see Bailey get on the scorer sheet. He's been shooting the ball outside and not having too much luck the last couple of games. So to get an easy bucket like that, maybe that's going to get some confidence in his shot.
That's exactly it, right? Try to do something a little bit different. Once you see that ball go through the twine, it's a whole different world from anywhere else on the court.
Pioneer really packing this defense in. It's very tough for the Eagles to get anything inside.
Redder inside to Sek. Sek, smooth turnaround and finish.
And maybe those 2 fouls early held Whitridge down because he didn't really aggressively go for that shot block.
You think that's thinking in the back of his mind a little bit? Like, I don't want to get 3.
Yeah, he sat too long in the first half for his taste. And look at this. He put his hands up, but he definitely didn't put his body in the way there on the defensive end with Whitridge.
Not terribly aggressive, but to be said, like Sek, that was a great play, great job of contorting his body, his arms back a little bit, and he's tall, so his wrist was probably roughly rim height when he let that go.
Boy, what a reaction out of Owen Peterson when that ball flew over his head. He kind of gave you a, what are you thinking, man, with the look to his passer. I love that reaction.
Maybe he thought he was a little bit taller, thought you were going to jump. Thought we were going to alley-oop.
Owen didn't think that.
Ellington up top, getting the offense started. Looking for Whitridge. but he's got a whole bunch of Eagles on him. Back out to Ellington. Front rim and a rebound by Seth.
Get the ball back inside.
Yeah, I can almost hear coaches saying that too, right? That was working for us, that's working for us. Let's just keep going until it doesn't work for us.
And be patient with it until, an ugly turnover again.
And Dula-ogon, though, quick hands, slaps that one away, and he's had some really easy layups here in the second half.
And this, again, you say he goes down, this time he goes up on the strip.
And he was so aggressive, taking advantage of a dribble that was a little higher than normal. That ball got almost chin height, and his eyes got huge and said, let me pop that guy out. Knew exactly where to go. He popped it forward and then went forward on the layup.
This is kind of his coming out party for us here on CTN. I mean, he's had bits and spurts, but this has been a game for him tonight.
And as you want from a player like that, he's done everything as well. He's got some offensive boards. He's been shooting the outside shot, playing just the stoutest of defense, and then gotten some points down in the paint as well.
And he shows off his speed on the defense, too. When he gets a steal, nobody's catching up with him.
Whitridge puts it on the floor. Back outside to Bailey, long three.
Boy, a lot of contact here.
Ellington knocked away by the
Good
Eagles.
hands. Ooh!
They're going to say last touch off the Eagles. That might have been last touch off Ellington, but that referee was down there right in front of that play. I'm going to say he saw what was going on.
We had a good look on this one. Look at this one. It looked like the ball was ricocheted off the body of Ellington because it's kind of hard for Sek to kind of pull the ball away. See that ball? It goes right off his hip.
Yeah, off his hip. That's exactly right. The Pioneers maintain possession, and Pioneers maintain the lead with another bucket from Amari Ellington.
Yeah, Ellington, our key player of the game last time we had these Pioneers against Huron, and he's showing off why. Maybe an underclassman, but he's aggressive.
Skyline working around, but not a lot of breathing room from the Pioneers. The Pioneers are still playing as hard as you can out there out on defense.
And they don't foul a lot on the defensive end, too. They move their feet. Look at this. Great job.
Nice up and in, though. That's Bryce Wall.
Again,
there's Dula-ogon from the top. Nothing but net. Extends the Pioneer lead.
Inside, outside, on the defensive end. Logan, that's his second three on the night.
He didn't think twice about that. That ball came to him, and as you'll see, he's ready to go.
Quick catch and shoot.
Yeah, he's feeling it tonight. And dare I say that the Pioneers are feeling it as well. They took some early blows in that first quarter, but weathered the storm.
Yes.
Got back to what they need to be doing to be successful, and now they've got a hearty 43-29 lead with 1:20 to go.
And it's not all by the scoring of this guy that just got the foul. Harrison only with 1 3-pointer on the night. It's been the others that have been stepping up. And I don't want to call Dula-ogon an other, but man, has he really stepped up hard tonight. And you're going to get a lot of calls when you're guarding against that big guy down low in the paint. Looked like that was an offensive call there on the Eagles.
Ellington sends that one outside to Harrison. Another three-pointer, Jordan Harrison.
Efficient night for Harrison. Not a lot of shooting, but when he does, he's making them.
Yes, similar to everybody in wearing purple. He had a rough first quarter, but everybody's rebounded from there. And there's another offensive rebound by Bird. He continues to make us a name for himself this evening as well. 49 seconds to play now in this third quarter. Harrison thought about that long three. Up and under. Not exactly the highest percentage shot that he just took there. Fun though. You're up by 15. Give it a ride.
Yeah, and that's a shot you've earned from your playing your defense and actually being an upperclassman probably as well too.
Yeah, when you're up by 15, and there we'll see him take to the bench Jordan Harrison, I am dubious if we'll see him the rest of the night.
It's not needed. Why, right? Because, they got a tough, only 3 games remaining on the schedule before districts begin on the 23rd. But we know that Pioneers already got an eye on next Friday night's game.
Foul on the shot going up. Jalen Roberts couldn't get that one to fall. And this Pioneer team is pretty small out there right now, other than Whitridge. So we'll see if their job will be to push on offense.
And here's another look at that call. And Dula-ogon, that's one time that we hadn't seen him come away with hand on ball, a little bit of hand on wrist that time.
I think that was a little bit of a desperation play. I'm way down low. I'm not used to being down here. Let's just get this thing as fast as possible. There's no time to try to be slick down there. It was just go and grab it.
But again, why not? Don't give up the easy bucket. That's the mentality of Pioneer.
Yep.
Make every possession tough.
Yep. Work for it. Work for it. Either down low under the rim or work for it at the charity stripe. Ellington playing general with 15 seconds to go. Not a ton of motion before we got seemingly a high pick coming up high. Great defense by the Eagles, though. Sends it up to Sek. 3 seconds left. Sek with the two-handed slamma-jamma, and that will send this Eagle crowd happy going into the fourth quarter. I'm happy going into the fourth quarter. Stick around on CTN's Game of the Week. Fourth quarter action coming up after this break.
I'm Dana Denha.
And I'm Melissa Bondi, co-host of Adventures in Parenthood, where we take a ride on the roller coaster that we call parenting.
Tune in to CTN Channel 16 or visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to watch all our episodes.
And keep watching for new guests and topics of all kinds related to raising our next generation.
Check. Can you hear me now? Interested in having great audio for your projects? We have some great tools to help you get crystal clear audio. We have a variety of mics from Rode wireless kits to lavs, handheld mics for interviews, and if you need some extra help recording multiple inputs, here's a Zoom. If this sounds like something you could use, contact CTN.
And here we go, everybody. The Eagle has gotten a lot of airtime tonight. However, it's the Pioneers with a big lead, 46-34, going into the fourth quarter, Kevin.
That big dunk, though, that in the third quarter by Sek, we never know what it can do. I mean, we got the Eagle down there dancing, so maybe we can see a little bit more of this kind of action from the Eagles here in this fourth quarter, Nick.
Yeah, Sek, we decided probably the only dude with the height enough on this Eagle team to pull that off, and his eyes got huge when he got those 2 steps out in front of the Pioneers. And we were wondering if we'd see Jordan Harrison again, and there you are.
Your answer's there, because I don't like the way that ended. If I'm Coach Marion, he wants his best players out there to put really their stamp on this game before they start going down deep into the roster.
Beautiful leading pass into the corner and a finish for the Eagles. This team is not going away. They're only down 11 with 7 minutes to go.
This game is not in the pocket for the Pioneers just yet. And then another one. Look at this look there. Over the wall. Is that Wall on the look? No, Williams on the look. But man, he threw his player open on the pass, actually.
That was very football-esque, the way you lead your receiver, you lead your power forward down there into the corner.
It was a great call there. I like the way you brought that into a football play, because that way you can see it from our vantage point. It was a nice little lob over the defense. wonder if Harrison's going to want to try to put it in third, fourth gear here.
Harrison ran into two players, and there's Dula-ogon one more time. He's been the player that brought them back into this game, and he might be the one trying to put the nail in the coffin here tonight on Maple Road.
Or the key in the door. I mean, because he is really doing a great job of whenever Pioneer needs it to step up, and that's exactly what Coach Marion would love to have heading into the postseason, is not to only have one trick pony and having Harrison do things, but to move the ball around and find someone who can go inside and outside. And man, I love that left-handed set shot.
And the finish was smooth and the finish was slick, but built up all along the way from Harrison to Ellington. Every player looking for that more open guy, that one more pass, right? Just like one more social media. What else are you gonna do? Just get on Facebook, get on Twitter, scroll a little bit, jump on YouTube, you watch all CTN's Game of the Week in full form. And then if you want to see a little behind the scenes, Instagram might be for you. See what's going on in that truck. See what's going on down in that camera down along the baseline.
I want to see what's going on in this huddle right now because, you know, Coach Marion is definitely not happy the way his team is coming out here and performing here in the fourth quarter. They started up and they're still allowing some momentum to come back on the Eagles side. And it's the defense that we've been preaching all night long that is, it's been lacking really here to start the fourth quarter.
And Eagles inbounding near side here.
Only man out of the Pioneers all game long. No pressure up court, just straight up man.
Pioneers doing a nice job switching and not letting any easy buckets happen. And that miscue coming out of the pass through the paint.
And that right there is the defensive pressure when you have players speeding up their thought process because you got a man in the face, and that'll put any fan section to sleep.
Pioneers with motion up high seem to have almost disregarded down low game on that play, but they're going to call travel on Harrison.
Really? I mean, we got to slow this one really down. Let's see. Which one was the pivot foot? Well,
that left foot definitely came up after the right one seemingly was a pivot foot, but it was similar to the slide on that free throw. Not so much up, but just the motion of it, is what I'd say.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I had to take a look at it again.
Was there a foul down low coming off of that?
And let's see here, with only one foul for if I'm Skyline, they got to get a little bit more aggressive because they want to muck this game up here in the fourth quarter.
Right, still only down 14. This is not an insurmountable deficit for the Eagles. We've seen them score in bunches. So you're right, and mucking things up is exactly what needs to happen.
Man, and there's that defense, even on the inbounds play. I love it when you can play 5 solid seconds of defense and cause a turnover. Coaches love that. That's a star play.
Ellington trying to get things going up top of Whitridge.
Good hedge there by the Eagle defender.
Dula-ogon crossing over, still finds Ellington moving in the corner. And here's some nice defense by the Eagles right now. This is what they need to do. This is the energy they need to bring. They need to hope that their fans get involved after a stop like that.
And that's good defense being played again, like you're saying, by the Eagles, causing consecutive walks.
Yeah, the Eagles can build off of that defensive momentum.
That was an easy one there.
That was definitely a walk, no doubt about it there.
Especially when you have on 2 different color shoes. But now the Eagles need to find the bottom of the net.
Wall from 3 wasn't the guy to find it there. Rebound by Pioneer, and they're going to try to make things move. Pass a little too high for Henry Bailey there.
3 turnovers in a row for Pioneer. These empty possessions are still allowing the Eagles to, be in close enough distance where one of these threes, get it under 10 points, guys. You can start chipping this game away if you're Skyline.
Eagles time now to see what they can do with it. And there's a nice drum in, pass, and score, Jalen Roberts. And that's where Skyline has been most successful tonight, bringing in those defenders and then finding somebody not too far away to dish and score.
And that's the second pass that we were going to talk about Cal Williams making. He threw that lob pass in the corner for the three, that time on the driving kick.
Dula-ogon's been the go-to guy for Pioneer.
Surprised that one went out right. I mean, everything he's been putting up is dropping. That's a good stop there by the Eagles. They needed that. Let's see if they can get 2 consecutive buckets.
Not the high percentage shot that you want coming off of the last few possessions. And now the Pioneers trying to push it forward as well, make something happen in the fast court, in the up court. Dula-ogon again. That was almost a heat check, right?
Boy, that was a tough call there. Harrison was going for the ball, and he got shoved into the corner. I want to see, this was like a little elbow shove going for the rock. Look at this one here.
More than a little bit of a block from Owen Peterson. You're not wrong. And Harrison's not going to appreciate that. But nonetheless, it wasn't egregious. That's another stop, exactly.
So 4 consecutive stops for the Eagles. If they can get it right over here on the offensive end, like you say, drive and kick, maybe you can get an open bucket.
Pioneer defense has stayed just as strong as this Eagle defense here in the last couple of minutes. There's Roberts, gets him to go up. Good look, couldn't get that one to fall.
I agree, good shot. He got the pump fake and still just got to nail it though.
Dula-ogon with a pullback, fadeaway bucket from about 12 and a half feet away.
Where would Pioneer be without him?
And they wouldn't be winning this one, I don't think.
I mean, he's the guy.
Whitridge gets the ball down low, sends it out to Dula-ogon.
Heat check time, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. He's feeling it. He's feeling good. We got a nice 14-point lead. But he's a shooter though too. I don't think if it's a 14-point lead or a 4-point lead, he takes that shot.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad shot either. I mean, he's got to have this look, and he's going to take it because a lot of times he's going to nail that shot.
Yeah, the numbers are definitely on his side, especially tonight.
We got him down for 22 unofficial.
And then he's got big buckets too. It's not just empty points here and there. He's the guy getting them back into it. He's the guy putting them ahead to get that lead that looks nearly insurmountable. Pretty strong pass from about 4 feet away right there.
I like this timeout by Coach Hamilton. Really needs a good possession and a positive possession that leads to points because the Eagles have been playing good enough defense. They've had stops that cause turnovers with their defense. They're just not getting enough on the offensive end to cut into this lead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So now you got to get your coach down there, draw up the perfect play that gets 1 or 2 of your guys free for an open look. That's exactly what they need to do. Still only down 14, still doable, but you got to start that magical run right here off this possession.
And you know, back in the day, it would be Coach Lovelace that would come in and he'd draw up that lob playoff, and you knew it was coming, but nobody could ever stop the lob. It was like, where did that guy come from the backside with the dunk?
And it was always different guys. It was not like it was always this one player. It wasn't always this one player. It was just beautifully drawn up and always executed. Exactly right. Yeah, you could count on a bucket coming out of the timeout.
Oh, those Pioneer fans, they look like they're down.
They're
right?
a little trepidation out there from Pie High. They're a little unsure. They're not feeling as great as they'd like. Maybe the screeching eagle is knocking their confidence down a little bit. You see the eagle down by the camera too. He's feeling good. Those Eagles feeling nice. They're looking forward to a bucket here.
2:41. They definitely need a bucket to get things going, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see full court pressure.
Williams with the inbound. Sec back to Williams. Just trying to spread things out. Williams into the middle, but there's Dula-ogon with the quick hands as per usual, as we've come to expect all night long.
Yeah, if he's not getting the steal, he caused the steal of the turnover there with his quick hands. call 3 seconds on Whitridge. He's just sitting in the paint there for a while.
And just like that, he moved away from the paint like it was on fire, like there was lava down there.
A sloppy play there by Harrison.
Unforced turnover, the most unforced of unforced turnovers. And there's Bird, who we haven't seen in a little while, coming in. Braylon Bird making his presence known under 2 minutes.
And Bird has no fear in himself. When he gets the ball, he's going in, and he wants contact. Sometimes, players, they kind of, I don't want this guy to hit me. No, Bird, he's looking for it.
Well, he's got mass and acceleration as he gets going down there. And he's good from the stripe one more time.
As well, a good touch too, right? We saw him knock down a couple three-pointers.
Yeah, all around the rim. He seems really sharp. He seems smart. He's aware of where he is and where his teammates are, and has that scorer's touch. Sec offensive rebound, goes right back up to it. Draws the foul, and I think are they going to call that on the floor? Is that going to be shooting?
That's his fourth. And Whitridge really didn't like that call. He thought he got a lot of ball up top, and it looked like the ref was calling it with the contact down below. Really couldn't see it off of that replay though, Nick.
No, it was tough to see there, and I wonder if there might have just been a body in our way. But I'm surprised they were calling it on the shot.
It's tough, especially when the official was over on the back side of the play.
And I could have seen them calling it right there or even a little continuation there, but as he went up, it seemed like he pulled away from it.
Pulled back a little bit.
Still 150 to play, and Skyline only down by 11.
Going to a trap now for the Eagles, trying to speed tempo up for the Pioneers, and Pioneer smartly pulls it out.
Yeah, Pioneer been in these positions before. That one up to Sec. Sec can't do anything with that before he throws it off of Ellington. Ellington not really ready for that one. He goes off his kneecaps.
Well, good job there by advancing the ball quickly and putting Pioneer on the defensive side, and that's going to precipitate a timeout by the Pioneers, because Coach Marion definitely is not liking the momentum shift here. 2 points now, and you're under 10 points, right?
You can feel that momentum shift a little bit too. Skyline defensively seems like that extra bit of pressure is putting it on the Pioneers. They're not quite sure what to do with it yet.
And maybe the student section for Pioneer knew something was coming up, because we mentioned how they weren't jumping up and down. They had a kind of puzzled look on their face, as a couple of them might be hitting towards the exit right now. But, they're not as into it as maybe the other side, the Eagles. Their cheerleaders are into it. Fans maybe not so much into it down there, but I like the way the momentum, or the never give up attitude, I should say, for Coach Hamilton's squad.
Yeah, that's the thing you got to preach to this young team, because as of right now, you're still seeing a lot of sophomores and even some freshmen out there. So these are the things, these are the lessons that you get against a really good team, and you build on these things from here. Even if you don't come away with the W tonight, you've got these lessons to build on.
Some good tape that you can go and learn from.
Peterson pinballs that one into Sec. Sec not necessarily the guy you want way out there, but single-mindedly goes to the rack. Rebound Pioneer.
Looked like he was trying to draw that fifth foul, and Whitridge nearly came away with it as well too. Pioneer's gonna take the air out of the ball a little bit, I bet, here.
Yeah, they're in no rush to try to go towards the rim. They obviously want to make a fake like they're going for it, or make like they're making the push so they don't get that 5 seconds, but otherwise, this is going to be a 4 corners drill.
Well, especially when Dula-ogon did not even turn and look at the rim. He just immediately passed it out.
Didn't even think about it. It never even crossed his mind.
Right? Definitely coming from the bench.
Yes, received that pass, didn't turn towards it, just sent it right back.
Love that shot there, guys. But next year, teams won't be able to take the air out of the ball with the shot clock coming in. 45-second shot clock will be grandfathered in. Next year, yeah, we're going to ask you to do it. 2 years from now, it's mandatory, especially if you want to host any type of postseason action.
Yeah, that'll be a learning curve for coaches, players, and announcers alike.
Right now, you need to get on here and get a foul. You need to get a foul if you're the Eagles. Don't allow them just to run this clock out.
Harrison now moving that one around, and no Pioneer is thinking, let's shoot. Eagles, though, not, I was just about to say not, oh, and they called timeout. Yeah.
That was Coach Marion doing his job, right? Not allowing the time to run totally off of the clock or to get a 5-second call, because that center court line was playing as an extra defender against Ellington.
Yeah, great job by the Eagles, and an interesting tactic. They're not fouling, they're just playing way out on the defensive end of things. Extra aggressive, but not reachy, and nothing too tight where you're going to get a body pump.
And Pioneer, really, there's some openings that they want to turn and try to get a bucket. They're playing the clock right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to get out of here, no injuries. Let's get another dub against our crosstown rival and call it a night.
42 seconds to play now here.
And another stellar defensive, only 8 points scored here in the fourth quarter for the Eagles. All Pioneers when they need it most on the defensive end.
And there finally we see a foul by Skyline. On the floor, so they'll be inbounding from the sideline again.
Is that the fourth?
Yep.
So one more and they'll be shooting. On the Eagles, let's make this a quick foul. Right when the ball comes in. Smart.
Here we go. Now that was officially.
And Coach Hamilton was begging. He thought that was going to be another going to the line, but no, it looks like they only had four fouls.
Purple gang out there letting everybody at home know who's in first place in the SEC Red.
And going for their 9th win in a row.
That's impressive. That's an impressive streak in this division, which is no slouch.
No, you have 3 or 4 teams that are only one-loss teams. I mean, you got Lincoln with 1 loss, you have Huron with 1 loss, and the Pioneers with 1 loss. This is not an easy ride in the SEC this year on both sides, the SEC Red as well as the SEC White.
Well, even a game like tonight, we walked into this one, and if you just look at records, you think that this is going to be a rollover. But Skyline gave Pioneer everything they could handle tonight. If a couple of buckets fall, we could be looking at a very different game right now.
Yeah, and it's really been, the Eagles, not their defense, because I like the way the Eagles' defense has been out here, but maybe that offensive end. If they can get somebody that can show up to the party with Bird, I mean, because he flew in like an Eagle would, and he's been doing his job.
Just one after the other there, just nailing every single one. Similar to the way that the Pioneers have been nailing shots here after that first quarter. And it seems like maybe the Eagles will just let this one play out now, or not.
Yeah, right when we say that, it was a little bit long in the game there, but Roberts comes up with that hack to make it, another foul, but maybe a little bit too little too late now, because not just with these foul shots, but, Dula-ogon, he's earned himself to etch his name on something in a couple moments here.
You might be right about that. You might be prophesying a little bit right there. And I got to tell you, some other guys that deserve to have their name on this key every single week. Everybody behind the scenes that brings all these amazing images, replays, graphics, makes you and me sound good. In the truck tonight, we've got Rob Cross. Rob the Boss Cross is our director. On camera, we've got Katsumi Tim Nagai, Ryan Smith, and Rich Mitch Mazer. Replay and audio, Jackson Gorland. And on graphics tonight, Moel Mazri. Thank you, everybody, for helping, and thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be right back. Down low, looking into the middle for Denninger, and Denninger not to be deterred. Back to Denninger. Denninger, the alley-oop, just malice in her eyes, and that one lobs in. Denninger, Allie Denninger. Denninger received that shot almost like a Hakeem Olajuwon there.
And down here on the court with our key player of the game, Dula-ogon, and everybody Pie High surrounded by Pioneer. It was a rough start, rough first quarter. Tell us how you weathered that storm.
I think it's just us being together, you know, in the huddle before the game. We were like, trust each other no matter what. So I think that's what it really was at the end of the day.
Tell me a little bit about the defense that kept you in this one tonight.
Yeah, it was really in practice. Coach wanted us to be aggressive on defense, and we're counting deflections in practice. That's how we win in drills, so that's what happened.
And eventually the offense took over and you were leading the way. Tell me about the confidence that you had. You missed a couple of the first ones, but man, you got hot.
I just had to let the game come to me, so that's what it was.
Let the game come to you, and you got hot, just similar to how all these guys have been hot. 9 wins in a row for the Pioneers. Kev, back to you.
And there we go with our key player of the game. Was it any doubt with 23 points on the night, sophomore Gia Dula-ogon coming in, and that's our third game that we did with the Pioneers, and we had 3 different key players of the game as the Pioneers come away with the 12-point win over their crosstown rival to double it up for their dub tonight. We want to thank you for watching, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Thanks a lot, folks. We'll see you here again on CTN Sports.